Hello, cats and kittens. We are live. And today is a very special day. It's John Lennon's 82nd birthday. So happy birthday to John. I hope we're going to have a good little party here today with John Lennon. Oh, let me just mute that. There we go. Sorry about that. Um, Always good to know that your mic is working when you leave the sound on YouTube. So my mic is working good. So I want to welcome you all today to this very special birthday celebration for John. And I'm going to tell you some stories about John Lennon. And I got a whole bunch of stuff beside me here to show you. All my John stuff. I left out the Ringo and Paul and George stuff. We're just focusing on the Beatles and all the John stuff. So let me give you a little brief history about John Lennon. So John was born October 9th, 1940, to Julian. Julian's his son. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Um, to Julia and Freddie Lennon, and he was raised by his aunt Mimi because she was Julia's sister, but Aunt Mimi thought that John wasn't fit to be raised by Julia because Julia was a bit of a wild child, and she wasn't fit to be the mother that everybody hoped she would be. So Aunt Mimi took care of him and raised him with his uncle and that. And uh, so one day, Freddie Lennon came to a visit when John was like 5 years old, and he took him to Blackpool. But what, unbeknownst to Julia, he wanted to take John away to Switzerland or somewhere, and he wasn't planning on coming back. And so Julia got wind of that, and she came to Blackpool to get John back. And then they both asked him a question that no young child should ever have to be asked, and that was, um, what who would you like to stay with, Daddy or Mummy? And then he said Daddy, but then he got a little confused and said, no, I want to go with Mummy. And then that's when Aunt Mimi came and took him away, because she said, no, no one's taken John away. And then later on, he went to elementary school. He was a bit of a troublemaker, John was. And so he made some friends. And then he actually made it into middle school and high school. And he went to Quarry Bank High School. And in 1956, or around that time, he fell in love with the music of Elvis Presley. And he desperately begged his Aunt Mimi, I want a guitar. I want a guitar. I really want to have a guitar. So I want to play. I want to play music. So she was like, no. I'm not buying you a guitar. But then one day she gave in. She bought him one. It wasn't the best guitar in the world, but he went upstairs and he practiced. And he was trying to get chords and stuff. And then one day he started visiting his mom, Julia, who was married to another gentleman. Hey, Fred, how you doing? Welcome to John Lennon's birthday. And she was teaching him banjo chords on his guitar so he could learn how to play songs. And so that progressed, and he practiced and practiced. And then one day, he started a band called the Quarrymen in honor of hey Bob, in order of his actual high school that he went to. So they had a skiffle group, because skiffle bands were very popular throughout England and Liverpool. And so one day in 1957 in June, he was part of the church fete, and his skiffle group, the Quarrymen, were playing, and they played a song that, of course, John defied everyone or rules. because John was John, and he decided to sing Dirty Maggie May, they have taken her away. Well, you know the song. And he shocked everybody with that, but he was playing Beep Bopaloo live, and that's the day he met Paul McCartney. Said, I met Paul, and I asked him, do you want to join me band? And he said, and I think he said yes the very next day. We were just a band who made it very big. Quote of John. And then from there, you know the rest of the history of John and the Beatles. And so now I'm going to show you some stuff that I have here. We'll start with the DVDs and Blu-rays because they're right next to me. They're easier to get at. So we'll start with this little one. Little documentary, behind the curtain, a documentary. But you know what? There's one thing I did not like about this. No Beatle music in it. But it was still an interesting thing to watch. I liked it. Friend gave me this. So that's that one. And then we have The Beatles Exposed, a celebration of Beatlemania and a rare documentary. So here we go. We got that. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Mason. And then this was on sale for $19.99 at my record store a couple of years back, and I had to get it. And I also have the DVD, which you'll see in a few moments, too. Backbeat. This is when the Beatles go to Hamburg. This movie is fantastic. If you want to learn about the Beatles' early days, this is a movie to watch. So we got Backbeat. Sorry, I'm moving a little fast because we've got a lot to get through here. And this is a movie about John Lennon, pre-Hamburg days, when he was just starting out making the Quarrymen, Nowhere Boy. And that's the guy from Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Johnson. So this is the early days of John. And this was an A&E special documentary a couple of years back, which I just had to have in my collection. Now it's getting harder to find, and it's more expensive now. Lennon, New York City. This is a very, very definitive documentary about John, and I really, really highly recommend it. If you can find this one for your collection, I say get it. And next we have 82. He would have been 82 today, Fred. Now this one, okay, everybody says that The Complete Beatles is the ultimate documentary about the Beatles. Well, I don't think so. This is the one that everybody should get. The Beatles Anthology. I will show the inside of the box because I'm sure everybody's curious to see what's in here. So here's part 1. Part 3 and 4. 5 and 6. 7 and 8. And then special features. So this is the ultimate documentary about the Beatles. If I can get this back in the box, no problem. Okay, got it. Now, this is another one that I saw in the theater back in the day, and I also have the soundtrack for it, which I'm not showing here because I have it somewhere else. Imagine John Lennon. I hope there's a Blu-ray release for this one day because I absolutely love this movie. This is a great documentary about John when he's making Imagine, and it also goes back to the early days of the Beatles when they started and stuff like that. So there's some photos from the movie. I like John with the glasses at the end there. So yeah, there you go. Got that one. Oh, how did that slip in there? That's not supposed to be there. And here's my DVD of Backbeat, because this is originally the way I had it. I got it for my birthday when I turned 40 from a friend. Never thinking they'd have a Blu-ray of it. But this is pretty cool to have. Hey, Jimmy Nickel, how you doing? And of course, I have Magical Mystery Tour, which was bought for me because I don't think this is something I'd buy. I mean, okay, it is kind of corny and cheesy, but hey, if you're a Beatles fan, you got to have it in your collection. Now I'm trying to get it on Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray's so bloody expensive. And next we have All Together Now, the Beatles. This is very good documentary, by the way. Oh yes, definitely Bob. And this is a very controversial documentary when Nixon and all his people wanted to deport John and Yoko from New York, from America. The U.S. versus John Lennon. This is a very good documentary. I highly recommend this. There's John's famous New York City shirt. Okay, next we have Sam Leach presents the Beatles. Sam Leach was a promoter, and he promoted all the Liverpool groups, and he almost became the Beatles manager, but then Brian Epstein took over before Sam even had a chance to promote them. So next we have, this is a bootleg that I have here. Yeah, he was kind of a communist, but I like what he stood for. He was a peace activist. Let It Be. This is a bootleg. Now, you don't get the full rooftop concert in this, but it's okay. It's not bad, but when you see what I'm about to show next, it's even better than what this was. But it's still nice to have this in the collection. This came all the way from Australia, if you can believe it, but it actually plays here, so I was happy about that. Now, this is the ultimate Let It Be Get Back. And I love the back cover. And I always see on the Beatles store they have a t-shirt like this, and then they have a t-shirt from this one as well. So let me show you what's inside. There's the back. Get back. There's the lads. And there was some photos in here, but they're in a frame in my bedroom now, so they wouldn't get damaged. So here's part one. I'm not going to take the discs out. I don't want to scratch them up. Part two. Part three. And in part three, you get the full rooftop concert in this one. And that's the calendar you see in the... hey, Abby. Here's the calendar that you see in the actual movie when it counts down all the days and stuff. All right, let's get this back in here. If it decides to cooperate with me. I hate when things don't go the way you want it to. Oh, wait. I had it backwards. I dropped the actual cover. Hold on, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're good. So that's that one. Now, this was an A&E documentary, and if you watch this on Netflix, it's only an hour and 23 minutes or 29 minutes, but this is the full version at an hour and 53 minutes. This is the version you want. John and Yoko, only above us, only sky. This is a very, very good documentary, and you'll learn a little bit more about Yoko's childhood in it. So you get a little more respect for her as a person. Maybe not as a singer, but hey, what can you do? And next we have two little documentaries in one. Imagine by John and Yoko and Gimme Some Truth, the making of the Imagine album. So this is a two-part thing here. It's kind of weird, but fun to watch. And there's a little booklet in here, which I'll show you. Pictures in here. There he is at the iconic white piano. And there's a little promotion poster for it. And there's John on the back. So yeah, we got that. And let's put that back in there. I'm just hoping everything, the pile I'm making doesn't fall over. That's all I need. And next we have John Lennon, Michael Crawford in a Richard Lester film, which I thought was hilarious. How I Won the War. This is a great little flick. And there's John at the machine gun. And there's one scene where they're playing cricket. They made a cricket match near a landmine, and one of the guys is doing push-ups near the landmines right at his face. It is so funny. Oh my god. I gotta love British humor. And then next we have, on Blu-ray, the Beatles movie, Help. This is great. I love this movie. And there's the back. Okay, this is going to fall. I better put this... Wait, I got to move some stuff, guys. Hold on. Just give me a sec. Everything just fell over, but that's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Now, here's the Criterion Collection on Blu-ray of the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. There's a book in here, but I'm not going to take it out because it's hard to get it back in here. This is a very crisp and clean picture of the movie. So if you're going to get it, this is the one you want to get. This is the copy you want to get because it's really good. It's a little expensive too, but worth the money. Then next we have A Hard Day's Night, again from Miramax, and this has a little extra special features that the Criterion doesn't have. This is given to me. But the picture quality for the movie, it's a little darker for the black and white. So that's why I say the Criterion one is better. Now, we've gone through that. Now we're going to go through the albums. I'm going to start with the CDs and then go to the records. So we have Beatles Beginnings. This is from their Decca sessions. Silver Beatles. So we got that. So this I can put on top of my garbage can here because it'll balance good. Then we have Please Please Me. With the Beatles. Hard Day's Night. Help. Rubber Soul. Revolver. Beatles for Sale. Someone made me a copy of that. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Oh, the vinyl's coming, Fred. The vinyl's coming. Magical Mystery Tour. The White Album. Both discs are in the same little case. Abbey Road. Yellow Submarine, the original one from 1968 or 69. This is a song track, the one that came out in 99. Just all the songs. The other one has instrumental music. And we have Let It Be. Let It Be Naked. The Beatles live at the BBC. The Beatles live at the BBC Volume 2. Right. Okay, that should go first here. The Beatles Anthology Volume 1. Beatles Anthology Volume 2. And the Beatles Anthology Volume 3. One and 2. Volume 1 and 2. Okay. Need. Right. The Beatles Past Masters, Disc 1. Beatles Past Masters, Disc number 2. Here's a little compilation from Stargrove Entertainment. Love Me Do. Here's a track listing. The Beatles Can't Buy Me Love. All right. Almost done with the CDs. We got Imagine John Lennon. Hey, John. Welcome. This is the greatest compilation. It's a 2-disc set. If you don't have this, you have to get this. John Lennon, Working Class Hero. The definitive Lennon. A lot of great tracks on here. And last but not least for the CDs, we have Lennon Anthology. I'm not going to open the box because it'll be too long, and I want to get through the records. Now we get to the records. First off, we have the Beatles' Twist and Shout. This is a rare Canadian print, and I got it for $19 in a thrift store. Yeah, this is another version of Please Please Me, except one song's omitted. Instead of I Saw Her Standing There, it's She Loves You. So there you go, that one. I'm going to have to put it there. And next we have one of my holy grails. Meet the Beatles. Okay, and next we have the US version of A Hard Day's Night with the instrumentals on the United Artists label. And next we have another UK pressing of Help on vinyl. There's the lads. There you go. We got that. And of course, my ultimate all-time favorite album, Sgt. Pepper. This is the 50th anniversary edition. There's the back with all the lyrics. And here's the gatefold with the lads. Hello, everybody. Happy birthday, John. I'm not going to take the things out because it's hard to get it back in, so I don't want to make this too long. And I have the picture disc as well. And side 2 is Ringo's bass drum. Okay, next we have Abbey Road. Let It Be. The Gatefold. Then we have The Beatles Story. There you go. Here's the gatefold. And next, we have Live at the Hollywood Bowl. And they really, you don't hear the girls screaming much on it. I listened to this. It's crisp and clear. I really like this album. Okay. The next we have Beatles Love Songs. It's on orange vinyl, but it looks yellow when you put it to the camera, which is kind of weird. Don't ask me why, but that's a great album too. And the next we have The Beatles 1 on 180 gram vinyl. And here's the gatefold. There's a poster in here, but I'm not going to take it out. And these, and inside the inserts, you get all these different photos, which are framed on my wall. The album and even CD jewel cases artwork was always so great. Place pieces of art in their own right. Really miss that with digital downloads and streaming. I know, right? Yeah, sorry, Bob, I didn't answer your thing on Facebook because I was doing this, and if I had someone else on screen with me, then that would be good, but I don't. So I gotta keep on going. Hey, Jorge, I thought there would be more people watching, James. Well, there's 11 people. Hey, it is what it is. I'm happy. I'm still doing it. I'm still having fun. So we have the Beatles live at the Star Club in Hamburg, Germany, 1962, 2 discs, Volume 1 and 2. And includes 13 never before released Beatles tracks. And here's the gatefold. Tells you a little information about it. I'm going to have to start putting these on this side now because I'm running out of room. I'm trapping myself in here, guys. And this is the same thing, but it's volume 2, but it has some songs on there that are not on that one. So now I've got both volume 1 and 2 in a double disc, and then this one as well. Okay, what's next? Next we have, on Apple Records, we have Imagine John Lennon. Great album. Yes, it's black vinyl. One of my favorites, which I have the t-shirt on underneath this. John Lennon Rock and Roll. And it's on Capitol Records, as you can see here. Great album. Okay, and what's next up? We have Greatest Hits here on Capitol. Shaved Fish. And next we have Double Fantasy. There you go. That's a great album too. And up next we have Give Me Some Truth. This is on gold vinyl. And it's 2 discs. But I also have the ultimate box set. Are you going to sing us a Lennon song, James? I might, depending how good my voice We'll hold out. We'll see. And of course, I have to throw in his son too. My favorite Julian Lennon album, The Lot. Uh, and I have some more up there, but I've kind of trapped myself in here, so I can't really move to get it out. I can't sing that one. I will sing a song from. I will sing Norwegian Wood for you. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good, Norwegian wood? She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on the rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. There you go. Norwegian Wood from Rubber Soul. Great song. And that's when George was into the Indian music. Mm. I also have the ultimate box set for Imagine on CD, the CD box set, and the Give Me Some Truth box set. And I also have the Beatles and Esher demos on from the White Album on in a box set on vinyl. And I also have the 50th anniversary box set of Let It Be. They're on my shelf, but I'm not going to lean over and try to grab them because I got records on the other side of me, so I kind of trap myself into the middle here. So we'll just have to go with the flow. Just a second, I'm getting messages. Hold on, guys. What am I doing? Okay, hold on. All right, sorry about that. So, anybody want to tell me some other John stories that I'm not familiar with? Have you ever got to see the Beatles live or John for that matter? Let me know in the comments below. So that's all my collection that I have. So I got some really good albums, but I don't want to make it go too long with showing too much stuff. Just walk over them, but be careful you don't want to fall over. No. Yeah, I gotta move them out of the way so when I can pull out afterwards to get up. Otherwise I would have shown you the rest on the shelf, but I kind of trapped myself in here. So I'm not gonna get up, but you know I'm still gonna talk to you about John and stuff. So I can't believe he would have been 82 today if he were still alive. And I wonder, what kind of music genres do you think John will be making today? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're thinking of that, I will show you the John Lennon shirt. And I have rock and roll underneath my long sleeve sweater, but I'm not going to pull that up. You've seen it before. I've worn it a couple of times. All right, let's see what Fred's got to say here. Yeah, I met John in 1976. I was 2. We jammed all day, then made fun of Yoko. Good one, good one. Yoko had her cesarean of Sean on 9th of October, so Sean could have the same birthday as John. Oh yeah, I forgot it was Sean's birthday today. Thank you, Jorge. hip hop and grime. You think so? I wonder what John would have been like doing heavy metal. Well, I know for the screamo stuff, Yoko would fit in perfectly. She'd be going. Sounds more like a horse, but no. What are you gonna do? Thank you, Jorge. Yeah. So, oh yeah, you want to? See, I'm going to show you my Funko Pop of John. New York City. There's the side what it looks like, and there's the actual John. I have a T-shirt of John like that. So that's my John Lennon Funko Pop. And I also have a John Lennon harmonica, which is across the room. Let me move these records and I'll go across the room and I'll get it for you. I just have to move one side over so I can get out of here. Hold on, just give me a second, guys. And I'll show you the harmonica. Okay, just give me a second, I'll get it. Okay. I'm free. I can move now. So here it is. There's John playing it. There we go. And that's what it looks like. And I'm not going to play it because it's a beautiful, beautiful harmonica. I'd rather have it displayed, but apparently on YouTube there's lessons how to play Let Me Do on it. Probably pop. But knowing John liked to experiment, maybe a little more modern country music. Yeah, and he liked heavy rock. He liked a lot of heavy rock, so I think heavy rock would have been his genre. Yeah, I think John liked experimenting though, and I believe he enjoyed some early hip hop. Above heavy metal? Maybe he didn't like it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, well, if you look at Helter Skelter, that's kind of the first heavy metal song. Most people say that the Beatles invented heavy metal because it's got that, dun dun, with the guitar and that. But my favorite version of that one is the one at the end where you hear Ringo say, "I've got blisters on my fingers." Because I think that's the stereo version. I think the mono one just fades and you don't get that last part with Ringo. I could be wrong, but anyway, what do I know? Yeah. So it's my Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, and we're having turkey later today. That's why I decided to do this a little early, because Bob and I might have a premiere to attend on YouTube at 4. Well, 4 my time, 3 his time. Have you heard anything yet, Bob? Let me know. But heavy metal then is not heavy metal today. Very true. Yeah. You're absolutely right on that one. Well, actually, tomorrow's Thanksgiving Monday. Some have it on the Monday, some have it on the Saturday, some have it on the Sunday. I guess every year you alternate. Yes, we do, actually. Yeah, but you get the parade and all that. And we just, yes, it is, Fred. We have our Thanksgiving weekend this weekend, yeah. But we don't get a parade or anything, or football games or anything like that. I prefer watching NBA basketball all day. That would be cool, but unfortunately, that's not it. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, Fred. I can see you're doing good. I'm happy to have you here today. I knew you'd come, Fred. I had a feeling you'd come support me. I mean, I got 10 people here. I'm happy. I don't know how long this birthday celebration is going to last because, with the weather changing that, and my throat's kind of bothering me today. But hey, at least I took the initiative to do this because I promised everybody I was going to do this today, and so I promised you guys the live stream today, and I made my promise and I did it. How long this will last, I don't know. It might be short, depending how I feel, but and I got my lava lamps on in the back, as you can see, to make it more trippy and psychedelic. And well, thank you, Bob. I really appreciate that. Ever seen Ed, and Eddie, James? There's a scene that always kills me. I've heard of that cartoon, but I've never watched it before. Thank you, Fred. I can see you're encouraging me to push on, keep going. Well, I'm going to turn my light off for a second so you can see what the lava lamps look like. Hold on. Provided I don't trip over anything here. Okay. So I hope you all like my lava lamps, but I'm not going to start streaming in the dark. I mean, I want to leave the light on. And as you can see, my Beatles calendar behind me on the wall. Yeah. So we're gonna have turkey tonight and stuffing and cranberry sauce and all that. I'm not a big fan of cranberry sauce. It's not my favorite thing. It kind of sits on my stomach, and it repeats on me. So I'm burping it up all the time. Hold on, I'm getting a text from Zeb. So that comes. I want to be able to see in the dark. Well, for that, Abby, you'll need a flashlight. So I'm going to open the floor. If anybody wants to come up and join me, you're welcome to. I'll just. What the hell? Oh, okay. They changed a little thing here. It's different looking from what I remember. I want to be able to see in the dark. Well, cats can. I know that. So I'll put the link out. If anybody wants to come up. Night vision goggles. 2,500 on Amazon. Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen night vision goggles on TV. They look pretty cool. But they must be heavy on your head to walk around with those things. Yeah, I couldn't make heads or tails out of anything. And you know what they remind me of? When the predator sees all the things. Oh, we got Mason. All right, we got someone. Hello. Welcome to the John Lennon celebration.
Hey James, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's nice I finally have someone up on screen with me.
Yeah, happy birthday to James, John. No, your birthday's
My
in
birthday is
April.
until April.
Your birthday's in April. I meant to say John.
So did you enjoy all the stuff I showed?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd like to take the opportunity while I'm here to show off all my John Lennon Beatle related stuff. But first, let me kind of just say, kind of tell you a little bit of a backstory. I got into the Beatles initially as a freshman in high school. And what I did was, I don't know, I heard one of those, I think it was I Want to Hold Your Hand. I heard it somewhere, and I'm like, it sounds pretty good. What I was most infatuated with at the time was not really the songs itself, but how good the sound quality was on my headphones. Because quite often in class, I would just put my headphones on and just play music, and I
Mm-hmm.
immediately fell in love with the sound quality of those early Beatles albums. I have a very vivid memory of the first time I put on With the Beatles on headphones, and when I first heard It Won't Be Long, I was like, "Whoa, that sounds amazing!"
That's the song that blew me away too.
And just from there, because the first one I played was actually not one of the early ones. It might have been, I don't know. I think I worked if I remember correctly, I worked my way backwards. As a matter of fact, uh, the White Album was actually coincidentally the last one that I heard because at the time I was like, oh, I don't want to play a double album. I'll be there forever. And but Pepper was definitely one of the first ones. Um, Rubber Soul, um, as well, because those two in particular, I was most interested to play primarily because at the time I had heard, you know, how the whole thing, how Brian Wilson was influenced from Rubber Soul to make Pet Sounds, and Paul McCartney was influenced from Pet Sounds to make Sergeant Pepper's. And I'm like, okay, what are the comparisons with these? And it turned out that Rubber Soul and Pet Sounds were actually a lot alike, and Pet Sounds and Pepper were actually very little alike. But yeah, so from the beginning, I had always something I picked up on was Lennon and McCartney's voices were just absolutely fantastic sounding, um,
Mm-hmm.
especially on those early recordings. I
It's their
to this
harmonies that blew me away.
I mean, to this day, I would actually argue that I much prefer the early Beatles stuff as opposed to the latter stuff. It's all great, don't get me wrong, but I just find myself enjoying the early stuff a lot more because the harmony. I think it's just the harmonies are a lot better. They're a lot fuller
Mm-hmm.
because when they tried to go,
I miss you.
when they tried to go back to basic sound on Let It Be, for example, it's even on One After 909. It's great that they're doing a song that they originally recorded in '63. They're finally getting this put out there, but the harmonies were just so dry there. It wasn't as full sounding, as 1963 Beatles.
Yeah. Hey, Bill.
But I've always said that George Harrison is my favorite Beatle for very validated reasons. But if I had to pick a second favorite, definitely John Lennon, because I very much respect him for how honest of a person he was. If he was thinking something, he would just tell you right there. And that's a quality that McCartney needs to use a lot more. He did use it to a great extent on Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, which is my favorite album of his. But anyway, this day's about John, so I would have to say Walls and Bridges was
Hey,
probably
Trekker.
my favorite John Lennon album, solo album. I don't know. I like that album has always just been a good listen for me. So it's probably like Walls and Bridges, and then maybe in number two, probably I'd say Mind Games. Imagine is quite a lower ranking for me just because I love the song Imagine and Jealous Guy, but the rest of the album kind of really doesn't do much for me. Plastic Ono Band is actually no. Plastic Ono Band might be number two. Put Mind Games at number three. Sometime in New York City is definitely towards the bottom of the list, even though it has its moments on it. Rock and Roll, it's a good album, but I don't want to listen to a bunch of cover songs. I don't want to listen to John do a bunch of cover songs. I mean, you know, uh, what's the hit from that? It's on the tip of my tongue. Benny King's song. He did it originally. I forget.
Hey,
I
Paul.
know the name of the song, but I'm Stand By Me. That was great off that album, but off the top of my head, everything else was just standard there. Double Fantasy and Milk and Honey. If you take the majority of the Yoko songs off and just mix mash those two together into one album, that would be a pretty strong album, I think. But yeah, there's my quick opinion on John Lennon there. I know I'm not James. I know I'm not being very cohesive with all of this, but I've been very tired today. So
That's okay.
now, okay, now the stuff I got to show,
All right, let
which
me make you
Paul's
big.
seen a bunch of times, but this is a Beatles and more specifically John Lennon day. So
I'm glad you're sticking to the subject.
oh, I try. Okay, so this is probably out of everything what I'm most proud of to own.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It was not a cheap buy, but anyways, this is the U.S. albums box set from 2014. You get all their American releases on
Hold on, I'm
Capitol.
going to cut you off for a second. I just got to read what Bob's saying here. I think a lot of the harmony thing has to do with how they had to record them. Early music was much more live and required sharing mics because of recording track limits, limits. Just an opinion. Well, I think you're on the ball there, Bob. All right,
Anyways,
carry on.
this is all their American releases, at least on Capitol, because VJ put out the introducing the Beatles thing. But you get Meet the Beatles, and they're all in mono and stereo, though not the original mixes. Is what I heard. Second album, which Joe Mayo, shout out to his channel, has pointed out that this overall is his favorite Beatles album. And James, I believe I saw you show this one earlier.
Yeah, I did.
What's cool about this is that the UK release, yeah, it's great to have the film soundtrack, and then just random songs that were done in 1964 as the B-side. But what's unique about this is that it's a real soundtrack. It's the songs from the film, and it's the instrumental score.
Mm-hmm.
This you're wasting your time with this, man. I'm just telling you, because first of all, the A side, I'll cry instead. Things we said today, anytime at all, when I get home, slow down, Matchbox. You can make a pretty good EP out of all of that. But then the B side is just because at the time, Capitol did not have the rights to this, so they made up for it by basically filling the B side with the songs from A Hard Day's Night. So if you're trying to binge listen to their entire American discography, what I'd recommend is play the entirety of this,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you get to this, play the A side, and then don't even touch the B side, except for diehard fans, if you want to hear a German version of "I Want to Hold Your Hand."
I want to walk down the aisle to Norwegian Wood on the steel drums, a la Phoebe's Wedding and Friends. Oh, cool. That'd be awesome, Miss You.
Anyway, Beatles 65. This is basically, this is Beatles for Sale. Pretty much, yeah, Beatles for Sale with She's a Woman and I Feel Fine added on there, which it's very nice that they included those two on there.
Is
Those
Mr.
are both,
Moonlight on that one?
huh?
Mr. Moonlight?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that song.
It's literally, for the most part, Beatles for Sale. It's the 12-song version, no, the 11-song version of Beatles for Sale with She's a Woman and I Feel Fine. So whatever from Beatles for Sale is not on this is actually on this. And this wraps up Beatles for Sale. And it also has Bad Boy. That yes, it is. Yeah, Bad Boy and Yes, It Is. Those are the only two there. But this is a mixture of the leftovers of Beatles for Sale and some songs from Help.
Okay.
But we're skipping ahead too far. This, unless you're into interview albums, this is a waste of your time. Don't listen to this.
I just showed that on vinyl too.
This is Capitol's version of Please Please Me. It's the closest thing you'll get. So, I mean, yeah.
I had that on cassette back in the day. That was the very first Beatle albums I ever had.
Here's the US Help soundtrack, which, again, I prefer over the UK. And just the cover design is cooler on this one. Look at it. And look how
that's got a
I don't know if the British one had this. I don't think so, but the American one had a gatefold.
Nice. It's okay,
US Rubber Soul, which I have always agreed with Joe Mayo on this. US Rubber Soul is superior. Why? Because doesn't it make more cohesive sense to open the album with "I've just seen a face" than "Drive My Car"? Just for this type of album, it makes more sense, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday and Today with Butcher cover.
Ooh, nice.
So this is basically, this is this album should really be called Parts of Revolver, but also
all right, Bob. Thanks for stopping by.
Leftovers.
I'll text you on Messenger later on.
And here's the US Revolver. It is not as good as the UK. That's all we need to know, because it omits most of the Lennon tracks. And the Hey Jude album. Now, that's the Beatles set there. I'm just gonna go because I'm wasting too much time talking about the regular Beatles stuff. I haven't even gotten into what this is really about, the John stuff. But so I'm just gonna run through the rest of these quickly. Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah.
Magical
Mystery. Beatles do count.
Yellow Submarine.
Mm-hmm.
White Album. Let It Be. And Abbey Road. And I specifically put them in that order because this is really the order that they were actually recorded in, You don't
have to rush through everything, Mason. Take your time with it, like Miss U was saying.
But James, I noticed when I was watching you earlier for like a lot of these, you had the lucky you had the first CD presses from the 80s,
Yeah.
But these newer 2009 remasters, they're honestly, from what I've heard, they're a little bit better sounding because when the CD was first manufactured, I mean, they didn't really know how to remaster things back then like they do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take your time. Don't go fast. Go slow through them so everybody can enjoy it. It's a celebration. Almost dropped my ginger ale.
But yeah.
Nice.
A thing to note about the upcoming Revolver box set that I really am glad that they're doing. In addition to remixing the stereo, like they have been doing, they are offering the original mono mix and the original mono mix and new stereo remixes for Paperback Writer and Rain.
And I'm really excited and curious to see what they do with Eleanor Rigby because that's my favorite song on that album.
Okay, now the John stuff. Now the stuff that y'all want to see.
Let's get John. You excited, Miss You? We're going to have John Lennon. Excuse me. I know you like that, Miss You.
Okay. Now, I don't have everything that he's put out as a solo artist yet. I mean, I started collecting his
That's
stuff
okay.
and then just put it on hold because I got to collect some other stuff from other artists for the time being to catch up. But to start it off,
But go
his
slow, go
first
slow.
his first true solo album, because I really don't count those experimental things as being real albums. You know what I mean? But Plastic Ono Band. This is the is it? This is the 50th anniversary release.
Cool. I want the box set for that one. Hey Zeb.
And then, yeah, I would say this is probably my second favorite Lennon album, just because Walls and Bridges just always was just perfect to me. I don't know why.
And what song on that album, Plastic Ono Band, what song stands out to you the most?
Ah, it's a tough one, really. Isolation is definitely a standout for me because his heartbreaking vocal on that one. Um,
The one that always gets me on there is Mother.
definitely, Working Class Hero, because that really pushed the boundaries at the time. We using the F bomb and everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those two off the top of my head are the two main standouts for me. I mean, Mother's a great opener, but I just if I had to pick two of the best ones off here, it would be those two.
You are so right, Miss You. Isolation is a great song, yes. Whoops. Happy birthday, Dr. Winston O'Boogie.
Now,
Hey, Paulina, thank you.
continuing on, Imagine. This is the 2010 release.
Hold on, Miss You.
And I've always loved this gatefold picture. This is a really nice picture.
Oh, I love that.
And like I said, I'll go ahead and roll through the standouts on this album. This album has never been one of my favorites of his. It's not bad. It's just standard for me. But Imagine, that obviously a standout.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Jealous Guy,
Jealous Guy, I love that.
fantastic song. Um, uh, give
Oh,
me
this
some
is
truth is
funny.
pretty good. I'll give it that. And then How Do You Sleep, which was later kind of reworked into uh, Stealing Glass. Both
Mason,
those
here's a
are
question
good.
for you.
Anyway, How Do You Sleep was later redone into Stealing Glass, but I actually think Stealing Glass is a little bit better. It's more it fits better is what I'm trying to say. So there's Imagine. Sometime in New York City, not one of my favorites. Why? There's too much Yoko on this, and I'm
And
not even.
that's the one with that controversial song.
Yeah, Woman is the of the
Yeah.
world. That song, as I mean, I like the backing track, and John is in pretty good voice on it, and I understand to some degree the message he was trying to send, but that's one that just kind of is like can be a little cringy at times. So that it's a mixed bag for me on that song. But if
The
I had
one
to
I
pick,
like on there is John Sinclair.
that one's kind of cool to listen to. But the main standout on this album for me is the song New York City itself.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's a
here
great
we go.
song.
Paulina says Sisters, Oh Sisters is the best track on that album.
The best Yoko song on that album, because that's probably the only tolerable Yoko song on that album in my opinion, because oh my gosh, when you get into We're All Water and she's just screeching, I mean, I understand people view that as artistic, but I just, in my opinion, just don't get it.
Sounds like a cat being strangled almost.
Now, next up would be Mind Games, but I am finding a hard time trying to get that one online. It's every time I check, it's sold out, which is it's a shame. But Walls and Bridges always been my favorite, just because this has just always been a fun album for me to listen to. You know, he had his first number one hit as a solo artist with Elton John on
Whatever
Whatever You
gets you
Do
through the
Tonight.
night, it's all right. It's all
An
right.
interesting fact, I don't know if anyone else notices this, but I look it up because it does list his name as a credit. Elton John was involved with the song "Surprise, Surprise, Sweet Bird of Paradise."
Sweet, 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 sweet love.
And look, cool gatefold as well.
But the actual album itself on vinyl, you can flip the things around.
Now I'm missing Rock and Roll and Double Fantasy. I just haven't gotten around to those yet. But Milk and Honey, this was the last one he put out, and every time I play this album, I play all the John songs because they're all fantastic. But as standout for me on this, probably there's a couple. There's a couple. I Don't Want to Face It is great. Nobody told me the hit off that, obviously great. Um, Borrowed Time, fantastic. And then there's one Yoko song that I always just go to on this, just because I think it's a really nice song. Actually, she's actually in really really good voice on it. I would say "Don't Be Scared."
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick one Yoko standout from this album. So there's all the John stuff that I have up to this point. I plan on getting the remaining releases, but as Ringo's album says, time takes time.
Oh yeah.
But there's everything I've got to show, James, and
Well, that's pretty cool. But you know what? I think I can, now that I've got those records out of the way, I can actually reach over and grab my 50th anniversary of Let It Be box set. Now that I can move. Great. Knock my door thing over. But that's okay. This didn't fall on the floor. All right. I'm going to make myself big for this. And we're going to see Let It Be. Hello, everyone. I'm close to you again. This is a Super Deluxe CD box set of Let It Be, 50th anniversary. I'll put this here so I don't drop it. And we'll start with the CDs first. So we got this. I like that shot of John. It's really nice. And we got that. Then we have the original album here. The Glenn Johns mix one. This is actually pretty okay. It's not bad. Then we have the the sessions and that. The EP, which has the original 1968 version of Across the Universe with the girls singing in the background. That's my favorite version of Across the Universe. Then we have the Apple Jams, and then we have the Blu-ray. That's for the special sound and all that. And then we have the book. Let's find a nice picture of John because it's his birthday, so we'll go to John.
While you're showing that, James, I'm going to take the opportunity to go use the little boys' room. I'll be right back.
All right. Go ahead. Find a nice picture of John here. There's John. Hello, everyone. I'm John, and I play the guitar, and sometimes I play the flute. So there you go. That's my box set of Let It Be, which I will put back in here. Hold on. Easier to get this in first. And then this. Do. Okay. Well, Um, I'm gonna have to set that there for now because I knocked my door thing over. Thank you, Monsieur. When's the Beach Boys stream, James? Um, Not going to be one. I'm not the biggest Beach Boys fan. I'm more into, as you know, I'm more into the Beatles. So this stream is right up my alley.
Okay, I'm back, James.
Yeah. Okay, and I know this is a question you want me to ask you, Mason. Do you think it would have been cool if the Beatles and the Beach Boys collabed together and did a song?
They technically did.
That was all you need is love.
No.
What?
Well, in 1968, Mike Love was in India with the Beatles, and Paul got the inspiration from him to do to do something with back in the USSR. I don't
Ah.
think he it's yeah he didn't help write it, but just because of that, Paul was influenced by the Beach Boys to do "Well, Ukraine girls really knock me out." You know that whole bit there.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that if you listen, there's really a Beach Boys vibe with there because they bring in the falsetto in that song
Yeah.
too. So that, in my opinion, is the closest thing that they ever came to actually kind of working together.
What's this? Jorge says the only band to put out an album with the Beatles was the Four Seasons. Yes, I love the Four Seasons. I like Ragdoll. That's my favorite song. Well, I do hope, Mason, that you do find that John Lennon album you're looking for. Is it sold out on Amazon? Okay. Oh, here's a question for you from Zeb.
I know, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm multitasking, trying to look for something.
Okay. Would we go down? Would I get a copyright strike if you played a little bit of the original "Give Peace a Chance"?
There's an original.
Yeah, like the one from Montreal when they're in the bed.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know if I want to risk it because I want to play just a few minutes of it, but I might get a copyright claim. It's
Claims mean
tempting.
nothing.
Uh,
I mean, claims mean nothing, James. I get those all the time. I'm just saying.
Jorge says you want to be careful with that, James. Yeah, that's why I don't play music on my channel. I mean, I've gotten away with it a few times, but I just don't want to take a risk. If YouTube wasn't like that, then I'd be playing "Give Peace a Chance" because I was all gonna have a little sing along. All we are saying is "Give peace a chance." Pretend we're having a bed in for peace or something like that. Uh, Miss Yu says, in my opinion, copyright strikes don't matter because you aren't monetized. That's true. Uh, you can get three, so that's like two free. Okay.
God dang it, a password. Uh, um, Be right
Um,
back, James. I gotta go check something real quick.
all right. Well, guys and gals, this is crazy. I got to put all this stuff back after. Okay, Miss Yu, would you like a song? Oh, would you like to hear a song? I will sing a song for you. Another John Lennon one. This is from Help. Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. Everywhere people stare, each and every day. I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, hey, you got to hide your love away. Hey, you got to hide your love away. How can I even try? I can never win. Hearing them, seeing them in the state I'm in. How could she say to me, love will find a way? Gather round, all you clowns, let me hear you say, hey, you got to hide your love away. Hey, you got to hide your love away. There you go. Do I have Instagram, James? Yes, I do. Um, Hold on, Astro Zombie. Let me figure out what the hell my thing is. Do 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 profile. Uh, okay, just give me a second here. Do. I will put the link in there for you. There you go, Astro Zombie. There's the link to my YouTube channel. My uh, love, Zeb, love. That's my Instagram there. Star Trekker says that was beautiful, James. Can you put singing that over your room tour? No, I'm afraid not. I'll follow you now, buddy. I'm not on lots, but posting 45s I find, okay. I just use it to text with my friends. I don't post anything because I don't have a cell phone, nor do I want one. I'll miss you. We love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I sang in my choir at school, but I didn't stay in it long. I joined my church choir in 2004 till 2018, so I was there for 15 years. That lasted longer, so I miss it. But from time to time, I'll sing for you guys. I'm surprised my voice is holding up because of the weather change. I had a bit of a raw feeling in my throat today. I'm surprised my voice held out to sing. Oh, God. I'm dreading I got to put all the stuff back after. I kind of made a mess here, but hey, it is what it is. When you want to entertain the folks, you got to go out of your way for them. Uh, so, Trekker, what's your avatar? What's your picture there? Jorgen. Hey, Jorgen, welcome. I'll put the link out for you, Jorgen. Come up and join me. Come up and let's talk about John. Just give me a second. Okay, there you go, Jorgen. There, you can come up and join me. Do. Jorgen, the king of the good jazz. Yes, he is. He knows his jazz, like I know my Beatles. Well, if you have to sneeze, sneeze. My girlfriend painted Green Star on the wall. It's our names together. Oh, cool. I like it, Trekker. Hey, Trekker, you haven't done on your Instagram or wherever it was, or your other account there, Pinterest. All the different pictures you've done for me. Where I'm with, who I'm with. Remember when you used to do that? Ah. See, Jorgen, I got my lava lamps on. I put the link out for you. Come up and join me. No, I haven't heard anything yet, Zeb. Now his Plex account is kind of down. He hasn't. He disconnected me from it or something. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't know what's going on with him lately. It's sad, but what are you gonna do? There's nothing we can do right now. We just have to grin and bear it. You know, life goes on. You have to live your life every day and just go with the flow. And I think we're doing pretty okay. Oh, jeez, dog scared me. Woof woof. We got woof woof. Yeah, I remember when you used to do that back in the day, Trekker. Surprised you haven't done it again.
I don't know. I asked my mother and said, I'll call you. And I heard work.
Hey, James.
We got Jorgen in the house.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I think he's going to come up, I hope. Let's hope he is okay and just having a break. Yeah, I know. What about you, Mason?
Let's hope who's okay.
JJ.
He removed his server.
I know. I was shocked. I don't know what's going on with him.
I don't know.
The last time I heard from him was August 30th. And that was the last. He never said anything to anybody. I'm baking barbecue chicken. Ooh, Trekker. I'm having turkey tonight because it's our Thanksgiving weekend. Yum, yum. We got turkey coming. Yes. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I have to cut this short because we have someone coming for Thanksgiving at 3 o'clock. So that's why I want to make this a short stream. An hour and 22 minutes is pretty good, I think. Usually I go longer, but and there is a premiere at 4 o'clock, so I don't want to miss that, if there is one today. So thank you all for being here for John Lennon's birthday. And he would have been proud that I was doing this. And happy birthday to Sean as well. So I will see you soon. And as I say on my channel, Beatles forever. See you on the next one. Bye for now.
See you, James.
Bye.